Okay, now that we've covered some basics of graphing, here's some more advanced ideas and techniques for graphing. So first thing, I look at these data, and the data graph look great, but I don't know how to interpret them. So first thing I'm going to do is add titles to the axes. I'm going to add a title to the horizontal axis and a title to the vertical axis. The way you do that is simply double-click the graph. There you go. And several things appear, one of which is add chart elements. Simply click that, go to axis title, and let's start with horizontal. So these are weeks, the number each week we collected a data point, so I'm going to label that weeks. Put your cursor in the function wizard bar like that, and simply type in the word weeks or days or whatever it is you did. These are weeks. Now I'm going to add chart element, and now I want to add the vertical one. So this is the data, right? So these are the data. This is orbiting fluency, whatever it is you're doing. So I'm going to call this words read correctly per minute. Okay, so right now, hit enter. Right now you can see that's a little easier to interpret now. It started off roughly 33 words per minute and went up to about 40 after a few weeks. A couple other things you can do. You can add a trend line so you can see the rate of growth. You can do it a couple different ways. The easiest one probably is to go back up to add chart element. See down there is trend line. I'm going to recommend that you use linear. It might not be statistically the best one to use for various reasons, but for what you're doing most of the time, linear is just fine. You can see by selecting it, it automatically appears. And you can modify it, put your cursor on it, and over here, you can right click it or double click it, this appears. If you want to change the color of the line to black, because APA says black, certainly I could change the dash type to this, or I can make it solid, whatever you want to do. Okay. So it's easy, simply click add trend line. And then you can compare the trend line to other goal lines as well, like typical rate of growth among kids in that same grade. Now, what if, let's give you the trend line to make this easier to see. What if you have an intervention for a number of weeks and you stop the intervention, want to do another one, or to switch to a different one, and you want to show that break in the data? Well, that's actually pretty easy to do. Okay, let's do this. Let's go up to here so you can see what we've done. Oops. Come on. So you can see this is week 21, 22, etc. Now, I want to say after, let's say week 22, we started a different intervention. Okay, so week 22, we started a different intervention. So I'm going to cut and paste those, just move it down. So now I took those data. So through week 21, we did an intervention. Those data are represented down here. Now I want to add these data for intervention 2 in the same graph. Okay, so all you have to do that is, again, just easy, just double click it. And when you do, select data comes up, among other things, of course. So hit select data. Now it's gonna ask what you want to do. You want to add a data series. I don't worry about naming it. I just want to put in the value. So put your cursor there. Okay, and when you put your cursor there, then you can drag all the way over from there to include the data. Now you've done a couple things here. I dragged from week 1 all the way over to week 34 in that second set of data. Just so the data are placed serially, we want them. Oops, I made a dumb mistake apparently. Yeah, there we go. So the dumb mistake I did is when you hit edit, it'll say +1. You got to delete that and make it empty. So just make it 0. So it looks like this equals sheet 2. Okay, hit OK. Now when I hit OK, the data are in there where we want them to be. And now you can go through, of course, and change them, make them black, and do everything we just did earlier. Make that black. Oops. 1 point. Change the marker. Make it black with the solid line border. That's also black. There. And now you got a nice break in the data. Now, what if you then, of course, don't forget, since you've done it this way, when you continue to add data, it'll automatically be added in. It'll automatically be added in. Okay. Now, what if you want to do an AB design? Well, in this case, I've got 2 sets of data for 1 kid. If you don't AB design this, don't worry about it. You can stop watching. Well, we have two sets of data. We did this to a kid in elementary school with cognitive impairment to teach him some sight words. They were trying to teach him 10 a week. And they were using traditional drill and kill, 100% unknown. And I came in and wanted to use incremental rehearsal. If you don't know what that is, on my YouTube channel, there's also a YouTube on how to do IR, incremental rehearsal. So all you have to do now is just highlight the data. So these data for the number of words retained each session, 3 sessions a week. So they taught it 1 week, came back the following week to see if they retained it. Okay, so the kid was retained 2 or 3 every time, 2, 4, 3. For IR, they retained 7 to 10. So now I'm going to highlight all the data, it's like you do, and do insert. Again, we're going to do a line graph. There, and just like that, it creates it really nicely. Now we're going to do all the same thing we did before. So we're going to make it a better font that I like, Times New Roman 12. We'll get rid of these lines right there, the grid lines, just delete them. We're going to add these lines here. Click it, solid line, click it there, solid line, make it black. Good. And we can change these as well, but I won't need to go into that. We can title it, we can move that around, like we've done all the others. There's a few more things you can do, how to create, put in axis titles, put in a chart title if you wish, put in a break in the data, trend line, and then if you do an AB design. I'm not done with this. We'd make it black and other things we showed about, but for time's sake, I'll just go ahead and stop there.